You believe in Jesus?
Yes, I do.
Well, you're going to meet him.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Macho Movie Madness.
Yeah.
I'm Andrew, along with Brandon and Chris.
What's up?
And before we get started tonight, I want to give a shout-out to one of our affiliates, Frightfully Forgotten. If you guys are into lesser-known horror movies and beer, be sure and check out their YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
I know I enjoy those things, two at a time.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
But down to the task at hand, I got 3 questions for you guys. And the first one's kind of a dumb one, but do you like action?
Oh yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah. Most of the time.
I prefer comedies.
Yeah.
Do you like guns?
Oh yes.
I
Very
hate them.
much so.
I hate them. I'm
Very
scared
much
of them.
so.
I'm scared of them.
This podcast is unofficially sponsored by the NRA, I believe.
No. No, I love guns, and they're maybe a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I'm the one who doesn't have... I own 2, and I'm the lesser of
Wow,
the
you were
3 guys.
behind.
Yeah. Third question. You guys like rape?
Yeah. What?
Whoa. Huh. I didn't expect that question here.
I mean, last time I didn't care for it. I watched Halloween 6.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
I was going to say, I don't know, this is a trick question?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to say yes, or am I supposed to say no? The fuck? That's an
Well,
interesting...
kind of the movie at hand that we're gonna be reviewing. You kind of have to have a tolerance for.
You
it.
have to have a It's not the what I Spit on Your Grave bad. Like, it's not I Spit on Last House on the Left bad, but in a couple places it is actually Last House on the Left bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to be reviewing the Death Wish films.
Yes.
So if any of those offend you, this might not be the podcast
This
for
is
you.
not the podcast for you.
It is filled with guns, filled with violence, filled with rape.
Yes.
Filled
Just
with
nastiness.
Bronson. Filled with Bronson.
Manliness.
Yeah.
It's manliness.
Filled with
Yeah,
Bronson.
filled with old men
Bronson.
old men flexing.
Bronson.
This movie came out in 1974, and to me, this film was kind of a product of its time.
Yeah.
When you look at it, you know, we're coming out of a war that not everybody was into.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't had a steady president since, dare I say it, Kennedy.
Yeah.
And your films were getting grittier and grittier.
Yeah.
You look at Dirty Harry and Deliverance, which came out around that time.
Yeah.
Last House on the Left, which we just mentioned.
I Spit on Your Grave was in the 70s. It's like late 70s.
Yeah.
Black Christmas was in the late 70s.
Yeah.
And that, when the first one, and Last House on the Left, the original, was really, really
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, it was
Oh,
dark,
yeah.
and it was so low budget and nasty.
That disembowelment scene.
Just nasty shit, man.
But amongst all
Texas
those...
Chainsaw Massacre,
Yeah.
which wasn't quite as bad.
Amongst all those, Death Wish came out. And Death Wish, to me, is kind of like the little dirty sister of Dirty Harry.
Yeah,
really,
kind
really,
of,
when you think about it. Which is good, because they need loving, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But
I mean, I actually watched these and I mean, I'm getting ready for this new one, but I watched these for the first time just this week.
Yeah.
Because, we were doing this and I wanted to know. I've always been meaning to watch them, and I just never did, and I don't have them at the store either, so.
Yeah.
But oh my god.
I watched them a long time ago because my mom is a really big Bronson fan.
Yeah.
And
I haven't seen a lot of shit with him in it.
oh well, I mean he did
Like,
a lot. He did a lot. You may not have seen a lot, but he did a lot.
Have
Like
you
he
seen,
was one of the most, like, back then I would say he was one of the most oversaturated actors.
Yeah.
Like especially
Oh, yeah.
for like B movies.
Which is crazy. I mean, I've seen like Magnificent Seven. I have never watched The Mechanic, the original.
Oh yeah, really?
No, I'd like to watch that.
I have it.
Yeah.
Do you?
Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yes.
is really good.
Yeah, I have seen that one.
I think that may be
his
I'd agree.
man,
What do you think?
I think it has to be the best.
Yeah.
I think it has to be his best.
Yeah.
But Death Wish though,
Dude,
Death Wish is probably
this
the
has
funnest.
a,
Death Wish is probably the funnest.
This has a I don't know. I never watched it before, and I don't know why now, but it just has this certain charm to it. Like it's so like bad, but it's so groundbreaking good. Like at the same time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well,
I think it's just because it's the product of its time. Like you said, you have. It's shot cheaper. The scenes just flow like it's just constantly moving. Like everything sets up in the first 15 minutes almost.
Yeah.
And then it's a little slow at first, but it's like it feels slow, but it's not slow because there's so much that happens in just a short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, and it feels like a shorter movie than it is because it's like over like
it's right under an hour and a half, but it is feel even shorter than that because it's just so much crap going on, and I think there's music in it, but there's a lot of scenes that are just very organic and very
There's
real.
a lot of silence in it too.
A lot of silence, a lot of real. Well, at the beginning there was some silence, like with the mugging and the rape and stuff. That was really.
I'm not a big fan of the music from these movies.
Really?
Not really. I think which I mean I'm a really big Dirty Harry fan, and I think that was one of the ways that Dirty Harry beats this one out is the score. But the fun factor, I think, I mean I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure I could safely say for myself that Death Wish is funner to watch than Dirty Harry.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that.
Even though I do love.
I love Dirty Harry. And all
I think they both have their moments.
They do.
Like I said, in its own old school weird way. But it's just so. Like the gun looked terrible, but it was it was one of those cheap common guns that you would probably find in somebody who just picked up one for the first time. So it wasn't anything
Saturday
special.
Night Special.
Yeah, kind of like I don't know. But like God, the premise though. I mean, who hasn't thought of something like that? Who hasn't? That's just.
Oh yeah, then that's how can I couldn't say like every movie that was inspired by Death Wish are my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
The Boondock Saints.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch both of them, and Boondock Saints has 2 Paul Kerseys and there's no rape. That's the only differences.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, it's the same thing. They go out and they kill the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then kinda, I mean, following up into the sequels, Boondock Saints is a lot like it because, they got the cops on their side for the most part. And, later on, Kersey has the cops on his side.
Later on, yeah.
And that's that's in 3, I think, and it's like it's a crazy like buddy cop movie thing where the cop is running along with him and they're shooting guys left and right.
Movies like that, like Boondock Saints, where you're talking where they take a formula that works, but they expand on it and kind of make it their own. Those are the ones that I find myself really enjoying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's not the only one either. It's just the best one that I can think of. It's probably my favorite that follows that formula.
Well, when you before you watched it, like me in my case, when you hear about the plot and you hear about all these things, and then you think Charles Bronson, you're like,
man, he's old.
He's old, and I just don't understand it. And then you watch it, and you're like, I understand it. Yeah, I completely understand it because I mean, the role was made for a person like him. Cause I think what gives it its charm and its uniqueness is it's somewhat bad acting or in bad lines and stuff, like just cheesy lines, but it's his not just his masculinity, but his lack of emotion.
Yeah,
in everything.
Yep.
He's just, I mean, he has emotion, but he doesn't at the same time. He's got a weird face where he just,
in some ways he does. There's a scene where he, the first guy he blows away, where he's, overlooking the city, and the guy comes up and asks him for money, and then he turns around and shoots him.
That was awesome.
There's a scene where he immediately runs to the bathroom and throws up.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit, but
that was
very
his first
quickly.
One.
Yeah,
that was his first one, and then all of a sudden he's like, "This is a rush, and I'm doing this."
Like,
this is awesome.
That wasn't that bad.
Yeah, this is awesome. That he was just getting enjoyment out of it. But he knew it had to be done.
Everyone.
He knew what had to be done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that, but it was really weird to see, like in the first one, and we'll talk about the second one and what happened in that in a minute. But I think it was really weird to see that what happened in the first one with his wife.
Yeah.
It was a rough scene.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was a really rough scene. It wasn't as bad as like I Spit on Your Grave, but it was rough to watch.
Pretty
that
rough.
Crap. And his, at first I was like, and at first I couldn't remember if his wife had died, like when people were talking to me about the movie and stuff. So when he kicked her the last time and knocked her out, and they went to the hospital, I'm like, oh, she's just really hurt, and she's gonna be in the hospital while he's out there getting justice. Right? Wrong. She died of it. I'm like, what? He just
Oh yeah,
fucking-
that's. I mean, the name of the movie is Death Wish.
Oh, well,
everybody dies
I
except
mean,
Paul
That's
Kersey.
going to be a
Well-
recurring theme in this franchise
Exactly.
too. All the women are made out of paper mache.
Oh yeah.
well, everybody's made out of paper mache except for him.
Yeah.
Like, really? There's, like, only one person, and off the top of my head, we'll talk about later, that actually survived an attack. But everybody else just dies in the most ridiculous, like, ways. I don't get it.
Or just survived a relationship with Paul
Yeah.
Kersey.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's
well, how many fucking things can happen to this poor man?
You just got to remember, it's Death Wish.
God,
You're all dead.
he has got the worst string of luck because literally everybody around him is hurt and killed.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird because I was like, oh, that was just really awkward how she just sorry. And then he just kind of looks at him like shocked, and he's just like, and that's it. And then he's just a silent dude after that. But he never cries. He never gets.
Well, like, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I mean, it's true, but
there's no. I mean, I've seen people.
but it's funny because like
do
his son-in-law was
completely-
distraught.
Yeah, I can do
in a
complete.
weakling.
I can see people do completely different things. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen people lose a spouse and one go just hysterical and one go just stoic and just not say anything to
And
anybody.
just be Well, he didn't have any.
You know.
He didn't seem to have any. He just didn't show a lot of emotion or have any like anything was different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he just didn't show it. So that was kind of weird. But at the same time, he's Charles Bronson, man.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
He's the
What's
masculine.
he supposed to do?
He's a masculine son of a bitch in this movie. And that's the whole point. He's the strong one. He's the one that's going out and he's going to fucking take care of this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird his daughter too being in like this state of like this catatonia.
Yeah.
Like I understand, but at the same time, like I don't. Does that
Well,
make sense?
back then that was more of a. It was back then.
Was that supposed to sell it more?
Well,
Like she's repressing what
Maybe.
happened, maybe.
I
back
don't-
then that happened a lot in movies and books and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
I noticed that.
kind of like quicksand. You know, it used to happen a lot in movies, and then they realized that hey, quicksand's not really like,
All that
doesn't
dangerous.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually happen very
Right.
often.
Right.
It was the same way, like catatonic. Like that doesn't happen a whole lot.
Yeah.
But in the movies, it used to happen a lot.
As I
Like,
say,
you-
because I've
you
seen
can-
that in
yeah,
old movies
yeah.
where if something bad happened, even not as serious as rape, something just minorly bad would happen, and the woman would just go into just complete shock.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and they would just be catatonic, laying in bed and dead
Yep.
to the world, like just weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
but again, I'm not used to watching movies like that from the 70s anymore, so
Yeah.
it's just like weird to go back and watch it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they used to think a lot of weird stuff like that was normal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what was going on out there in L.A. back then, but
I wish I could think.
I
There's
kind
a
of
few
know
things
now that
There's a few things that I really wanted
Me too.
to mention because I loved it at the time I seen it. Now I can't think of it. I should have wrote it down, but there's a lot of good moments in that movie. That was awesome. That one where that first kill was great, where he just like stepped forward and he just turned and boom, that was awesome. He pulled the gun on him and and he just turned around and shot him first.
I like how
Most of them were that's another thing too. Sorry to interrupt you,
No,
but
you're fine.
but that was another thing about this whole movie. In this one, in almost like 95 or better % of the time, every situation he did put himself in, he was looking for.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he wasn't. Like
No,
he was out there.
well, back
till the later ones.
Yeah, I mean, he was out there, like hoping probably that he would find some people or that he
Yeah,
would do.
probably.
But at the same time, he was just sitting on a subway and they were just bothering him no matter
Yeah.
what.
That might have been my favorite kill. The,
You know,
the
the
subway
subway
where he's
was
reading the
awesome.
paper. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. He shot him through the paper.
well, I mean, New York back then was
It was rough.
rough, man. You know, L.A. and going into 2. L.A. was rough back then. You know, which I mean they still are. They're still crazy. They're still
Insane
both
shit.
places are crazy to live. I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't live there, obviously, but
I'm sure there are.
But you don't have where we live. We don't have riots. We don't have race riots. We don't have politicians taking our weapons away from us that we can defend ourselves with. We don't have we don't have criminals following us home.
We did
at
just
night.
have a jailbreak.
Yeah, we did have a jailbreak.
We just have a
yeah.
jailbreak, which is
Yeah,
don't have it
a little tiny guy. I mean,
Yeah.
We got 7 guns in this
And
room.
you know
Come
what?
at me, bro.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know what? I kind of feel bad for this guy that just escaped prison. I was reading his stats on the internet. He's 5'5", 100 and what?
50 pounds.
150 pounds.
Yeah, soaking wet.
And he just squeezed through the bars.
He's in like a max or a almost maximum
security prison.
Security prison.
It is
like,
a maximum security.
He is the bitch.
He is a bitch.
I feel bad for him.
Well,
I'd run away too. I was that small.
I think he had less than a year or a little over a year.
Yeah,
left on
18 months. Or
yeah,
something.
which is why he was out able on the work crew or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was just a thief, and he fucking took off like an idiot. He might have been, you know, like somebody probably could have killed him.
I guarantee it.
I
guarantee
hope
it.
he didn't steal something from Paul Kersey.
He
I
might have.
If he did, he's
He was,
fucked.
he was getting out to go look for Charles Bronson. Somebody needs to tell him he's dead.
Are you sure about that?
Maybe.
Are you sure?
He's
or
with
is
Tupac.
or is he? Yeah, he might be.
Tupac and Elvis.
Yeah. And Hitler and Michael Jackson and all of them on an island somewhere. Argentina.
He probably just comes in and kills some bad guys and goes back out.
I'm going to call Charles right now and tell him to get on this guy.
Yeah.
So before we go on to 2, can we talk about the ending of 1? And we were talking earlier about how cool that was.
Okay. I have to say the very end of Death Wish is maybe one of the coolest fucking scenes from any action movie. I mean, you know, obviously I can't say it is, but I can say for a fact that it might be one of the coolest.
When
he fucking turns and points his finger at that dude and smiles and does this.
Yep.
That's the coolest. That's gangster as shit.
Yeah.
Like, you don't...
That's payoff for everything he just went through.
Oh yeah,
dude.
I'm in Chicago now, and you don't know who I am.
Yeah, like oh, dude,
I will tear your world apart,
that's
buddy.
so badass. That's
cool.
That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen from an action movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's just badass.
I in the how about I can't remember his last name, Frank, the old cop who was way
Ochoa.
Yeah, he was way fucking smarter than any cop ever, and like it's like these damn cinema cops, dude. They're like 100 times smarter and better than
any cop
in the real world. Yeah, good lord. Maybe, just maybe, we got a vigilante on our hands. Maybe he was ex-war, ex-military. Like, what the fuck? You just pegged this guy like you knew. Get the fuck out of here.
Vigilante.
Maybe this super liberal guy that lives in a penthouse that just happened to have a bad thing happen to him started going around killing all these people.
Let's check the local stores and check all the rapes and murders in the area.
I want 25 cops following this guy around 24/7.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That don't happen. That don't happen.
And I love how they were all watching his front door and nobody watched him slip out the back.
No one slips out the back.
Yeah, we got back doors in the 70s. What are you talking about? Who can afford a back door? You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't have mattered. He's Charles Bronson.
Exactly. He would have figured it out.
I heard one YouTube reviewer compare him to Batman.
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Vigilante.
I can see that.
Yeah, that was
awesome. I don't know. I mean, you could say that. You could say that.
Yeah. I know it's blasphemy.
Not really.
Here, but
not really.
I get it.
I get it.
I get it. How about Jeff Goldblum's first role? Yeah. That's the piece of shit.
Yeah.
Rich.
How hard was that role?
Yeah.
Come in and say, I mean, it would be hard.
Hey, this is my first role. What am I doing? Oh, you're raping a girl.
Yeah, you're raping a gal, and you're going to call her a rich cunt 50 times.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was just stuttering in his defense.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I think you're a rich cunt.
Yeah. Listen, you're gonna find a way. A way.
For him, that would have been a really hard role to pull off.
It would have been terrible.
Yeah.
And then you guys said that Denzel Washington was this movie, and I completely fucking missed it.
Yeah, I think it was his first film.
Yeah, that's insane. That's cool. That's cool though. Like, there's a couple of them like that. Look really,
from the
second one.
Was it
Lawrence Fishburne was in the second one?
Okay.
Second one. I'm sure it's one of his first roles, if not the first one.
I don't know if it was his first, but it was one of
pretty early.
It had to be pretty early. Well, it was 82, so it was number 2. So
yeah, but this that was Denzel's absolute first role in a motion picture.
So what did you think of the end? I mean, other than him pointing like the him and the cop and stuff.
I was happy with it.
All right, yeah.
I was happy with it.
I was kind of happy with it. It's weird.
That's what me and Andrew were talking about it earlier. Like it's kind of confusing that he was supposed to be in Chicago, and then in 2 he shows up in L.A.
Yeah, they had to explain that in like some kind of exposition where where he was transferred. He lived out there for a little bit, and then he transferred out to L.A. to be I don't know.
They did explain it.
They did.
So
Yeah,
I haven't watched these in a long time.
There's one cop that explained that or something, or maybe it might have been Frank because he come in the second one. They brought him back for the second one.
Yeah.
And this was supposed to be
how stupid was like.
This was supposed to take place 2 or 4 years after. 4 years after the fact, and it was actually made 8 years later.
Right.
So
that's stupid. That's so stupid.
To bring him back.
To bring that cop back. Why the fuck? Okay. I know this is Death Wish world and everything's a little
insane.
Different and everything's crazy and shit.
It's just insane.
But,
it makes
I
no
mean,
sense.
really, a cop flies from New York to L.A. just to tell this dude's girlfriend that he thinks he's a murderer.
And by the way, the first and second movie, both, he's breaking into shit he's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I'm a cop. That's the benefit of the job. That's breaking the law, asshole.
Yeah.
That's breaking and entering, dude. I don't care if you had a badge or not. You didn't get a warrant.
No.
You're a fucking asshole.
Hey, you in the 70s, man.
You can get away with it in the movies because everyone just expects, everything to be, oh, well, they're cops. I gotta go do shit.
It ended up costing him, so.
It did. Yeah, it did. That was a hell of a way to go out. And because he ends up helping him, and he's like, "Get that motherfucker for me!" Like, really? Like, all of a sudden, you like every one of these guys, every one of these guys hate him and love him at the same time because he's doing shit they can't do.
Right?
Yeah.
Why can't you? Cops kill people all the time. Secondly, you're breaking and entering. Why do you fucking care now? Why stop at breaking and entering? Not getting a fucking warrant. Like, just kill him.
Yeah. Oh shit.
He shows up and starts killing him.
Yeah.
It was good. I know. Maybe you guys not like 2, or do you like 2? Okay.
No, I like 2.
I like
okay.
2.
I like 2.
I like 2. The only part was his fucking daughter dying, dude. Like, she jumps out the window to get away.
The whole scene, I understand. Okay, the first rape in 2, totally called for, I think. For a movie, for a purpose of a movie,
to set up the purpose, right?
Completely called for.
Yeah.
The second one, with his daughter, and then her jumping out the window.
They just abduct her, and then.
I was going to say, there's like three rape
totally
scenes in this movie.
For. Yeah. Totally uncalled
for.
But the whole thing with his daughter was totally
Well, it's bad enough. She's catatonic, right? And then she's getting a little bit better. She's still not talking all the way. She's kind of a mute still.
Yeah.
She is getting kind of better, though. And then this happens. Like, what kind of fucking luck do you put these people through?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's insane.
Well, I mean,
it's a plot. I get it.
She's related to Paul Kersey. She's gonna die.
Right.
The name of the movie is Death Wish.
She really didn't freak out that bad. You notice that?
No,
she didn't freak out again. She knew, like, she just was not happy.
She almost looked excited.
But she was just, like, looking around. She's like, okay. And they take her. She struggles a little bit. They take her. Then she just lays there and lets it happen, right? Obviously. So she's just dead to the world.
She's already had it happen to her.
Right. So she's just like, whatever. She knew to take. And then as soon as he was done and they were all dropped their guards, she took off running. They all run after her. She jumps out the fucking window 2 or 3 stories up.
Yeah.
And, like, the chances of you making it anyway, but there's a fucking fence that she impales herself on out there. Like, that's just horrible.
I think she was just ready to go.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. She's like, ah, fuck it. I'm done.
But my whole point of that scene about it being uncalled for is, and I've talked about this a lot whenever we do horror movies. And it's like, there's a lot of this stuff where they're like, well, what's the most fucked up thing we can think of? Because we got to get people to go, oh, that actually happened.
We already killed his wife.
Exactly. We have to push stuff further. We got to push
and he acted the exact same fucking way in this one as he did with his wife. He's just like, he just looks out the window and thinks for a long time.
He's like, is this your daughter? And he's like,
he was more tore up. He was a little more tore up.
No, he wasn't. I
thought he was.
He wasn't.
I couldn't read anything on him.
No, you just can't read his face. He obviously he was upset, but
he was a lot more upset in this one than when his wife died.
Yeah, it's just sad. I still.
I haven't. Like I said, I haven't seen it in a long time.
At the same time, I don't think he was because he just. I don't know, like, it was almost like he'd lost his daughter a long time ago anyway, and it was just unfortunate. Well, this is just unfortunate. I'm just going to sit here and stew. I'm not going to come to bed yet, and then he just goes back to work, and then he goes on.
I'm going to kill all these people.
Now I'm going to kill these people. Yep, too bad. He searches for him, and then Frank's tailing him. Obviously, somehow Frank, not being in L.A. that long, tails the motherfucker perfectly.
Knows everything in the city.
I kind of liked how he went downtown and got a little derelict place, and
I did too.
Yeah, that was pretty
hung
cool.
out down there.
That was where he kept the gun and everything, and then he went back home of a night. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I honestly didn't, and I also didn't realize that the woman his love interest in the movie is actually his wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was his real wife.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the blonde. Yeah, she actually died before he did. She died.
Really?
She died in 1990.
Wow, that's
which
crazy.
which was 8 years later, breast cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Well, she was one of the luckiest.
and that's how because I thought they were divorced, but she died, and that's why. And then he married another gal who was also like really young.
She's the only girl with Paul Kersey that never died in this franchise because he sends her away.
Yeah.
Well, he basically gets her. She finds out, and then she leaves him. She doesn't end up going with him because he asked her to marry her, and then she finds out that he's the one that killed this dude. Yeah. And he's like, and she just didn't want to be a part of that, so she left. And he didn't. He just went on. Like he's like, whatever.
Well, I mean,
I'm Paul Kersey, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I do. I'm used to losing people.
Yeah, this is Death Wish. I'm sorry. I hate to leave you, but this is Death Wish. I gotta go kill a bunch of people.
One of those right there. I don't know. I actually really like this movie though. It was a little ridiculous, but there's some good parts. My favorite part in the entire movie though, for real, was tell me something. Do you believe in Jesus?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I do. He's like, well, you're about to meet him, and he just shoots him. That was fucking awesome.
Yep.
That almost has to be our open for this podcast.
I'll do it.
Yeah. No, I did like that. I hated that guy though. He was a creep.
Oh, with the skullet?
Yeah. They're all creeps.
They're
in this
all
movie.
fucking weirdos. Yeah. Lawrence Fishburne was weird. I did love the kill though. Shoots him
on
through the fucking,
Fishburne. Yeah.
Shoots him through the boombox.
Yeah.
Hits him in the head.
Yeah. He learned science that day.
He sure as hell did. Oh no, man! Watch the
bastard.
face.
No, put this. Anyway, two was good. Two was good. Was not as good as one. Was not as fun as three. And I was just saying earlier before we started recording, I think 3 is the funnest Death Wish.
Yeah,
I really do. I think 3 is the funnest. And I'm a big gun guy, like you pointed out earlier. And
some damn good guns in this
yeah, like the guns really took center stage in this. That's what I love.
Man, that was cool. I was really happy with the movie all the way through. It was slowly picking up, and there was some really funny scenes in it. It was just funny because it was it was just so crazy.
Yeah. I think this may be Canon Films' best film they put out.
Maybe.
I mean, all those Chuck Norris and Bronson films. This may be tops.
This was night and day different.
And there's a lot of Norris films that I love that Canon did, but this one is.
Well, the first and second were so realistic, especially the first one. They were pretty realistic. It was just some random dude going out, and it's hard to catch a dude when he's just out because there's a lot of people in New York City. Yep. So this was just so off the chain, and of course they were like, yeah, we're going to release you, and you're going to work for me, and crime's down. And this is the kind of running theme through the whole series, where we don't like this guy, we don't want him, this guy, but we're not going to lock him up because vigilantism was wrong. But crime's down, and when crime's down, the city looks good, and we don't want to make a martyr out of him.
Yeah,
we don't want it. We don't want other people to find out, so we don't like. I don't know. It's just weird. Like you want.
Ain't wrong.
They're not. They're not. Well, they want to string him up and get him off the street because they don't want people to find out there's a vigilante, because then they're going to take matters in their own hands. And we all know that the government and cops do not like when other people make them look bad.
Oh no, yeah.
That's the only reason why they don't give a fuck about the people dying.
No,
they don't give a shit about the bad guys dying. So it's really believable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they won't get rid of him because he's knocking off a bunch of dudes. And
man, the cop in this, and I touched on a little bit earlier.
Was wild.
He was so stupid. And I love the guy. I love the guy.
Actor, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his name is.
A lot of stuff in the 90s.
But he did a lot of stuff in the 90s, and he's
not in the
really
Team
good.
movie as the coach. Remember that?
Yes.
He said "God damn it" a lot.
Yes. Oh yeah, and he's really funny, and he was funny in this.
Oh yeah, he was. Oh, like I said, he was stupid.
Yeah, he was wild.
Yeah, and he made.
Come on, what did he keep? He kept saying something to him. God dang it, he'd always. I don't remember what he said. I remember he called him dude.
Yeah,
all the time. But I don't. He said something else to him all the time, and I don't remember what it was. But it was funny as hell.
Yeah.
But that's funny guy in real life.
I guarantee.
I'm sure he is.
And then at the end, he joins with Kersey and has like this Wild West shootout, like I was saying earlier, with the cops. Kersey and the cop is running side by side, and they're shooting people off the roofs.
Yeah,
and
me and
shit.
Mike
like,
was
what the fuck?
Running down the middle of the
Yeah,
street.
what
Yeah.
is going on?
Yeah,
here?
we were watching it earlier, and we just got a kick out of it. It's hilarious because they just like he saves his ass. He's like, now he said, I guess I owed you that one, and they start running down the deal together. Obviously, all of a sudden they're working together.
Yeah.
He rounds the corner and he doesn't even fucking skip a beat, dude. He doesn't stop, slow down. They shoot at it, they miss. He looks up, bam, bam.
Yeah.
He's like the most
Falling out of the
accurate.
balcony.
Yeah, he shot that revolver like I don't know, like 50 times.
Oh, yeah.
without reloading.
Yeah, without
It's
reloading.
amazing.
Yeah.
When I was telling you about these movies, and I've said this a million times, this movie's a live action cartoon.
Oh,
it
It's
is.
like the Roadrunner with guns.
It really
it
is. I love it. It's
The
hilarious.
the old fucking machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
He's just cleaning everybody
Yeah.
out. The guy's running around beside him, next to him with a box of ammo,
Yeah.
just feeding him the belt.
And the gang members just keep coming.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Oh shit, he's got a gun.
And what else was really funny about
The bad
this
guy,
movie?
and he was like a cross between. Who's that guy from Legion? Who plays the main bad guy,
Oh,
the blondie from
The
Legion.
albino guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
It was like him and Sigourney Weaver had a kid together.
You
That's
know-
how bad. That's how bad
Yeah,
he looked. He
You know
looked
who
terrible.
that guy is? That is that is Connell Cochran from Halloween 3's real life son.
Really?
Really?
Gavin O'Hirley or whatever you say. their name.
O'Harley.
He was in Lonesome Dove. He was the guy
Really?
that strung up and burned the. I hate sodbusters. That guy.
Okay.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, his
Okay.
demise in this film is one of my favorite parts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah. The rocket launcher.
Yeah.
The little
Yeah.
quick launcher.
I got Kevlar.
Yeah, I got Kevlar. Ain't gonna fucking work just like you. Okay, and he just grabs the deal out of the corner. Boom. Everybody just like in shock and upset that their leader just died, and they all just throw down their weapons. They're like, "Oh god!" and they all start running away.
Well,
Like-
that always happens.
Yeah, yeah.
That always happens.
Oh no, our leader's dead. We're gonna stop fighting.
Oh, another funny thing was the guy that was holding the box of ammo for him. His wife died from a broken arm.
Yes,
I remember
yes.
that.
That was another.
I remember that because my
I was
dad,
so like
my
what
dad used to make fun of that so much. Like
You told me it was a broken arm.
yeah,
Yeah, well, she's got a broken. Yeah, they rape her. It was terrible. Then they gets the call, and he finds out there's a broken arm, and but she's gonna make it. We're gonna get down to the hospital. She's gonna be fine. So they get to the hospital, and they get to the hospital right after. And he's like, "I'm sorry, she's expired."
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck says expired?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she expires, and they're all upset, and the guy's already upset because she just got raped, and he found out she was raped.
Yeah.
And he finds out, well, there's a broken arm, and it was torn real bad, and there was bleeding excessively, and there was some blood clots, and I guess one traveled to her heart, and it was just like in 5 minutes, like.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but come
really,
on.
I mean, in real life, crazy shit like that happens.
I
just
know,
with
but
the
in
blood
Death
clots
in
and
Death
stuff.
Wish though, in Death
Yeah,
Wish,
yeah.
that's the shit that happens.
She
in
died
Death Wish.
because, science.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your wife, she passed away from a punch.
Broken arm.
Yeah, she was punched in the eye, and
Yeah.
she just died of her injury.
Yeah.
Like, and the way they killed his love interest was so infuriating to me
yes.
Yeah.
because it looked like a 120 mile an hour car crash, but I'm sure she was only going 45 miles an hour down that and like it wasn't that fast. And then when it hits the car though, the car just fucking explodes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like most movie cars do in those and it just fucking kills her.
Yeah.
Like that just that was infuriating.
Probably
Like just give this dude a girl for God's sakes.
I think that's probably the dumbest.
That's the dumbest
That's
death.
the dumbest death.
I don't even think the car looked like it was going there.
No.
No, it wasn't. Like I said, it was a 45-mile downhill momentum kind of
If
thing.
that.
If
If
that.
that.
And then it looked like when it plowed into that car, it looked like it took the whole front end and the whole side off that car like it was going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I love how the gang. I don't condone violence on women, but when the gang leader punched her in the face, she went down the seat. I laughed.
Well, it's like, what the? Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's what he did. He just grabs her and punches her and then knocks her out and then they push the car down after they put
Yeah,
it in drive.
exactly.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I remember thinking.
Why did you just slit her throat? Like, I don't know.
I remember thinking, oh no, she's going to get raped. Because,
Right.
if you're a woman in Death Wish, you're getting raped.
Yeah.
And she didn't. Like,
And then
what
Paul
the
comes
fuck?
out immediately and just kind of like,
Yeah.
and he
Well,
looks upset for a second and,
yeah,
he's just,
he's like,
and just
"Son
like
of a
walks
bitch.
off. He just
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, got another one. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
One of the other surreal moments in this for me is when he gets the Wildy 475,
Yep.
and he sets up the giggler. He
Yeah.
puts the Nikon over his
Yes,
shoulder.
yeah.
And,
The bait.
Yeah, and he takes it and blows a hole the size of Texas through
Oh,
his
yeah.
chest.
Yes.
And people are hanging out of their of the
cheering.
Yeah, they're
cheering
they're
murder.
clapping.
They're like, yay!
Yeah, that's the motherfucker that got my bag. Hell yeah, I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah.
That may be one of the best parts
You know,
of the series.
and back then, that may have happened.
Oh, I guarantee it.
You know?
Well, he should have died. He got my bag.
Yeah, and today, everybody's.
I
like,
love how
"Oh,
no one
God."
snitched on him at all. Even the ones that seen
Oh,
him, no one.
fuck no.
He saved me.
Oh,
I'm not
fuck
snitching
no.
on that
You ain't
motherfucker.
snitching on him.
No,
Not back then.
no.
We got
not in the
we
city.
got a bunch of
No one
pussies
else?
now.
Them taking the gun, the cops taking the gun from the Jewish people because you can't have guns in New York.
Yeah.
This is what's problem. That's the problem with your city and that
Oh, yeah.
state.
Yeah,
With
it's
most
one
cities,
of them.
yeah.
One of them.
That's why there's so much fucking crime.
Well, I mean,
People-
there's
nobody
there's a
defend
lot.
themselves.
There's a lot you could say about New York, but
I don't know. Anyway, I enjoyed the movie. My favorite so far up to 3. I don't know. The worst death was definitely her dying of a broken arm.
I would say the car crash
The car crash was
be worse.
well, yeah. The car crash was stupid.
because that was stupid.
That really pissed me off.
They really could have figured something.
Maybe the
else out.
impalement.
The impalement was pretty cringy. Other than that,
See, I thought that was just uncalled for.
yeah, I thought that was insane.
Yeah, she could have died just hitting the bottom.
Yeah,
Right. That was just stupid. That was like a horror movie shit. That's like
Yeah, exactly.
Jason just threw her out the fucking
exactly.
window.
That's what I was getting at earlier.
That movie had to be pretty close to getting an X, I would say.
I
with all
it
the rape
had
and all
to.
the.
It
Back
had
then,
to.
yeah.
How many was there?
There was 3 in that one.
Oh,
There was
just
the
3?
2 there,
I was
and then
thinking
there
there
was
4.
There was like an implied. I can't remember if she got raped or not in a parking garage.
Yeah,
later on.
in the van.
Yeah.
where they took her. Yeah, I mean they.
That was in 2.
They took her.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what we're
into-
talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, they took her in the van, and then when he started shooting guys, the one dude came out of the van, and he had ripped her shirt off.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, she was getting raped.
Yeah, that's what they started. And
Yeah.
they'd come out. It was weird.
They didn't show nothing
No.
other than they showed her topless the whole time.
Mm-hmm. That was a big theme too.
Yeah.
I like it was like they're still.
It had to be close. To
I mean, I guess it does kind of drive home that hey, this dude needs to be killing these people, and then people deserve to die if they're going to be raping and hurting people.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've all been there, right? Like that's the first thing we'd probably want to do is shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Kind of like Game of Thrones. Who cares about plot when there's boobies?
Exactly.
Well, that too.
Exactly.
That too.
Yeah, there's a lot of gore. There's a lot of people dying, and there's boobies.
Exactly.
I mean, what else do you need?
And you've watched 4, right?
Yeah,
I have not watched 4 yet.
me and Chris have both seen 4.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't watched 4 or 5
A
yet.
long time ago.
4 is not all that good,
No.
but it's one of my favorite ones in some masochistic way.
Yeah.
Like the opening scene, it's almost superhero like. Like they're in a parking garage and they have a girl and the lighting's just perfect and they got pantyhose over their head and Paul Kersey's standing in the shadows. They're like, "Who are you?" And he's like,
He's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
"I'm death." Pow,
Yeah.
pow.
Oh, that's
that,
awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That one scene in 3 was fucking awesome when he bought that car with cash.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the hell did you do there?" He said, "It's my car." He's like, "It's bait."
Yeah.
And sure enough, they were out there stealing shit out of it. He's
Excuse me.
Yeah, excuse me. What the fuck concern is it you? Well, it's my car. He's like, "Well, you're going to die, motherfucker." And he pulls the switchblade out and he just pulls the gun out and shoots both
Yeah.
of them. It's hilarious.
Never bring a knife to a fight with Paul Kersey.
That's right.
Well,
it was awesome.
It was pretty funny
You
when he
wanna
said
die.
that's my car. That was a pretty funny part.
Yeah.
Like it was way funnier than it sounds.
Yeah, it's my car.
In 4, there's a funny part. Well, I guess I'll lay out the premise to 4 since you haven't seen it. Like, he's moved back out to L.A. And
Again.
this newspaper media mogul is playing him against both sides of this. There's like 2 drug rings going on and playing him against both sides. And so he starts taking out this guy's goons one by one. And he goes up in this big high-rise apartment. They're like 20-some stories up. And he's going through all of his stuff trying to find information. And this guy goes, "Oh, I forgot something." He's got this blonde bimbo in the car. And he goes back up there, and he knows somebody's in there. He doesn't realize it's Paul Kersey. And he's like, "Okay, I see you, asshole." He's like, "What the heck are you doing in here?" He goes, "I'm making a sandwich."
Yeah.
He just kicks the crap out of him and then throws him out. And as he's falling, his girlfriend's like, "That guy's a jerk. I wish he'd just dropped dead."
Yeah.
Pow.
And then he does.
And they just
I mean, it's full of stuff like that.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure doesn't Kersey walk away? Like, isn't he walking down the street already when the dude's body hits the car?
He might be.
I think
haven't
so.
noticed.
I think so. I think he throws him out the window and then makes it all the way down. and is walking down the street, and then the body hits the car. I'm pretty sure that might have happened.
Be.
I don't know. Like I said, it's been a long time
This
since I
one's
watched it.
not as ridiculous as 3, but I can see that happen. It's still pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
There's one.
This
where
one though, in this one he actually takes a shot. I'm pretty sure it's this one. I'm pretty sure this one's the first one he gets shot, isn't it?
He gets shot in 1 because he's getting ready to fight a guy and he passes out.
Yeah.
He shoots him in the leg.
Yeah, in the leg.
And then the dude runs off.
And in the third one, he that guy follows him up the stairs onto the roof, and then he sneaks around, hits him with the club, and throws him off the roof onto a car.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that was what you're thinking of, or maybe it's been
another
scene.
I don't know.
I haven't watched 4 though either. So
One thing to watch for in 4 is the dummy scenes.
Yeah.
Like
they're all over 3.
Yeah.
The ones like they're falling.
Well, these are obvious, and they're like,
There's a couple scenes that were pretty obvious in 3.
It's like they didn't have budget, so like. There's a scene where he's going in to take care of some more goons, and a very young Danny Trejo sitting at this table.
Nice.
Him and another guy. And he sets up this bomb there that he can control. And before it cuts, it's almost like they hold the shot too long. It's almost like balloons with smiley faces drawn on and badly feathered.
It was bad. Yeah. And then the like the CG from the explosion is the worst
video game.
Oh
CG.
my god, it's worse than that. Yeah, it's like the first Doom.
Oh my God.
or like Wolfenstein. Yeah, it was bad.
I was like going back and looking at old quirks like that, and even the stunt stuff. Like in the third one, when they were tossed and stuff, and they caught the people on fire, they come out of the apartment, and they were running down the stairs, screaming on fire, and you can clearly see like the old woman. You can clearly see how young it was, a young woman in a really bad wig and a fire suit. It was pretty bad, but it was funny to see.
Yeah. There's another scene like that with the main bad guy when he gets it. It's just like they hold that cut too long.
Oh yeah, just a little too long.
Well, and the main bad guy from 4 is Carter Pewterschmidt from Family Guy. Like
really?
He looks
just like him.
He looks exactly like him. I mean, to a T. I almost think that
real ratty mustache.
I almost think that McFarlane may have like made Carter Pewterschmidt after this guy because he's a millionaire mogul or whatever.
I've never seen him in anything else.
But he's just I don't know.
Just the type of character.
Just the type of character.
Maybe you have to ask. Maybe we can ask him one of these days.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I'll call him.
I'll call him up tomorrow.
Anyway,
I'll email. I'll page him.
The bad guy ends up not being who he says he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually just another bad guy that was tricking Kersey into taking out the competition.
Okay.
He reports back to him at the end of the movie when everybody's dead, and it's like not the guy who was in that house.
Well, no, that they lock him in the car.
Oh yeah, that's right.
To blow him up, and he gets out, and so he goes to the dude's house to kill him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to talk. I don't remember the guy's name, but he's like, I want to talk to so and so.
Nathan White. I don't know why I just remember.
He's like, I want to talk to. I told you I'm going to see Nathan White, and this old man stands up and he's like, oh, that's me. And he's like, no, you're not. He's like, yeah. He's like, that's my name. I think I would know it. And so then he knows that he was played. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty cool. I mean, I think it was probably one of the best plots for the whole series.
It actually had a plot.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
It's really good. It was directed by J. Lee Thompson, who a year earlier had worked with
Murphy's Law.
Bronson. Murphy's Law. I love Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
It's another. That's way up. I won't say it's better than.
Is it? I've watched that. I need to watch that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I knew he worked on Murphy's Law, but I didn't. I've never watched it.
Murphy's Law
What was the first one? He did the first 3 movies. Weiner.
Oh, Winner.
Yeah. Winner, Weiner, Wiener, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Tomato
works for you.
Yeah. Whatever you like.
Yeah.
Whatever gets you through the evening.
Yeah. But no, I think 4 was like story-wise, 4 was the best. I think they just were like so low on budget, and Bronson was so old.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like.
Well, I mean, he was still in really good shape. It was 2 or 3 years after the third one, and he was in good shape. And I mean, for being 63 years old,
still pretty good. Both, of course,
he finished the series at 73.
I know.
Both the women in this movie and his life die.
Yeah, of course.
Naturally.
Why not? Why wouldn't they? I guess.
I mean, it's called Death Wish.
You know it's a movie, and you know it's Charles Bronson or somebody like him when they can get somebody half their age.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
By the time he did 5, he was 73 years old.
yeah, that's what I was telling him.
And
It's crazy.
Kind of suffers because you can tell there's like a scene where he has to dive out of a window because there's thugs after him, and you can just tell it's a total stunt man.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It has to be.
You guys haven't seen 5?
No.
I
I've seen
think
4
I
or 5.
have. I think I have, but I don't remember it, and I don't know if that's a good thing or
Well,
a bad
it's a
thing.
good thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've only seen it because I'm a completist.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but
Yeah.
it's not good.
Well, that's my. I'm sure that I've seen it because my mom and dad have like they got a box set, and who the fuck ever made a box set for Death Wish? I'm talking an elaborate like
Box set?
VHS box set. You know, it's not like a DVD set where they just put all the, they just cram all the discs into a box. Like it has an actual box with artwork on it and shit.
Oh, they
Like,
used to do that all the time back then.
Oh my
Even
God,
for shows.
for Death
Have you
Wish,
seen the
geez.
Highlander box set and stuff they used to
I've
make?
seen-
Like you could get on TV and order it back in the day. You call the hotline and order it.
Yeah.
There's this huge ass box set, and they all of the cases had like a picture or whatever on it, and then you could like call up and order the swords and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
I wish the sequels were better so we could do a podcast on Highlander, but they're
well,
just not.
They
any good.
dude, they're so bad.
We could probably still
I
do
wouldn't
one.
even do like
Just do
oh my
one.
God,
We'll do something in one.
We would have to have a specific show to just do really really bad movies to do the Highlander.
We can do
movies.
that.
Yeah.
because the first one is awesome.
We need to do that B movie podcast anyway. Like we want to do a B movie
Yeah,
one anyway.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
which is not Highlander.
Dude, the
but-
Highlander movies after one are like C movies.
yeah.
I wouldn't even give them that.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Like F for what the fuck you
the
doing?
TV show was like
Was
a
awesome, I thought.
billion times
Leaps and
better
bounds
than
above
any
I
of the
loved it.
theatrical production.
What's his name?
Christopher Lambert.
Christopher Lambert.
Well, no, I mean the guy who did Adrian something, wasn't it? Or something Adrian.
Oh, from the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
I knew it.
Shit,
I used to
yeah,
know
I can't
it.
think
I
of
used
his
to know
name.
it.
Paul?
Paul Adrian?
Adrian Paul.
Adrian Paul.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Either way.
Awesome.
No, like we said earlier.
Did you, now, hold on a
whatever
second.
gets you through the evening.
Hold on a second, real quick. I liked Endgame. Highlander Endgame with Lambert and him, and where they both cross.
Is it Edge
I
in that
didn't.
one?
I didn't.
Huh?
Is it Edge in that one? From
No.
the WWE?
No, I don't think
Edge
so.
is in one of them.
I don't know if he's in that one. Or not.
Well, now
That's the one where they. That's the one.
I'm about to change my mind on some of the Highlanders.
Yeah, Edge is in. I thought it was in game,
I
but I
think
may
it was
be
the one
wrong.
after because I don't know that maybe it's been a while since, but it was the one where Lambert died. Because he had to kill him in order. Duncan had to kill Connor, and he took his power, or whatever.
I might have to watch that one.
Yeah,
I don't think I have.
It was good.
I don't think
I liked it
have.
okay. It wasn't like amazing, but it was far better than 2.
Yeah.
Holy shit, 2 was bad.
Well, Paul Kersey had some people to kill in Death Wish 5.
Yeah.
I know that's a big surprise.
Yeah. Oh, really?
But it actually had a
In the
little,
retirement home.
it actually had a little bit of a plot. Like he was dating a woman who was a fashion designer.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow she was tied up with some bad gangster guys. And I was telling Chris, the guy's like a low rent Jack Nicholson because
Mm-hmm.
every time he acts, I'm like, that's Jack Nicholson, but not as good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not quite as crazy.
But it's all right. There's some. He's got this one henchman that's got a dandruff problem, and like
What?
Yeah, that's like the character's defining
I
characteristic.
have to watch it now.
That is a pretty good. That is a pretty good defining.
Well,
thing.
and that's how I'm pretty sure that's how he catches him.
Yeah.
But like something happens. She turns against the guy, against the gangster guy. This guy dresses in drag, goes into the women's bathroom and bashes her face against the mirror, and of course that's when Paul Kersey has to get his revenge. And so he goes and buys. This is the one scene I really like. He goes and buys this kid's soccer ball at like a KB Toys when there was still one of those, but it's got a remote control. He puts C4 in it. And
Shit.
wheels it up to the guy while he's standing guard outside, and he's like, "Hey, so and so." He's like, after the guy picks up, he's like, "I'm going to take care of your dandruff problem for you." And that was one of the only really good scenes. There is one more. There's a scene in the middle of the movie where there's like a chase downtown, and there's a Asian female cop that gets just emaciated by this car, and it is one of the best stunts I've ever seen. She goes flying, and I don't know how.
Huh.
But
Oh, damn.
it's really good. But yeah, there's really not much to talk about with
Yeah.
5. He's It is what it is.
1, 2, 3 is the bread and butter, basically.
Oh yeah,
and 4 is just fun.
I think 4 needs to be watched just because the story.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm serious. I think 4 has.
It's
the
more
best
down to
story.
earth than 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, by far.
Oh, is it really?
He's still pulling rocket launchers on people.
Oh, that's good.
And he's shooting up guys in teenage roller skating rinks and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. With the oh my god,
with the bumper cars.
Oh my god, yeah, he shoots this guy. There's so there's this scene in 4 where he chases this guy to the roof, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then they got the bumper cars,
the old style where they're electric. He
shoots the guy in the back, and the dude flies onto the cage deal with the bumper cars, and so it's shocking the shit out of him. Dude, I completely forgot about that.
That was a good kill.
Yeah, that was good.
So saying that, wrapping up the series, what's your guys' favorite
kill?
1 or 2 kills.
Yeah. Man. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. I like the ones that are just funny or just outright. Like I like
outlandish.
and I like Lawrence Fishburne's because it was right through the boombox. I thought that was pretty awesome. Oh man, what else? I'd say my favorite one was, hey, do you believe in Jesus?
Yeah,
or whatever. And he said, well, you're gonna meet him. That was probably my favorite. And then I do like the rocket launcher kill.
That's what I was gonna say.
And I do
the rocket launcher's probably one
from
of the
3.
best.
And then I really like the 2 guys that are fucking robbing his I'm gonna take your car.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you're gonna die. Wrong.
It's my car.
It's my car.
It's my car.
You gonna fucking
the way
die.
he says that's hilarious. Yeah. Anyway,
all of them, all those scenes where he just kind of fucking surprises them.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna fucking die, and he just like, all right, and then he shoots them. I love those, but I'd say my favorite. Yeah, I don't. My favorite's probably.
I like that.
I'd say that.
It's my car. I think I like the making a sandwich.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the mayonnaise scene from Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like mayonnaise.
Yeah.
It's totally out of place.
Yeah.
But favorite kill, probably when he pulls the rocket launcher on the guy in 3. It just blows the hell out of the side of that.
It's just ridiculous. And even the ones that don't come from him, that one where the guy was running around and just shooting them from the rooftops. Yeah. Oh, that was hilarious.
The rocket launcher's probably the best one.
Mm-hmm.
There's others that I like too. I like the kill on the giggler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one where he set up with the Nikon camera case and then shot him in the back.
That's the giggler.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. They got the giggler.
I like that one a lot. And
yeah, he was the giggler. Yeah, you're right. God, that was annoying.
So I like the rocket launcher. I like the giggler a lot. And I also like the one that I was just talking about where he shoots him in the back and he flies onto the bumper car deal.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. There's a good one in 5, like the main bad guy. I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. You probably don't care.
No.
But he's begging. He's like, I'll give you anything you want. He goes, I don't want anything from you right now. You just need a bath. And he kicks him into a vat of whatever chemicals they...
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you just need a bath.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm sure there's other ones too that I like.
Yeah, there's so many that I can't really think of.
The train on the subway one was pretty awesome.
It was.
And one.
It was.
That was pretty cool. And it just, I think all the kills in that one are pretty interesting because they're very elusive. But they're very real. Like, it just boom, boom, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
And then they're hauling on his tail, but he's always gets away, and I like that. I think that's just what's really special about the first one.
Well, and
I wonder what they're going to do for the new one.
I don't know. I didn't know if we should. I was wondering if maybe we should talk about it at all.
I think we should talk about it after it comes out. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of. I want to see it like new and updated, but I kind of at the same time want it to be a little funny. I don't want it to.
I think it will be. I think it will
I don't
be
want
funny.
it to. I don't want it to be overly funny. I don't want it to be 3 crazy, but if it is, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if it's like 1, I don't care. Like, I don't know. I think we're pretty good.
I think
either
it'll be
way.
more like 4.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
A little bit more down to
just
earth.
saw
With
A little more plot.
I just saw the trailer for the first time today because I've been kind of like...
I've seen the trailer a little while back, and it looks good.
To me, the movie looks like a big budget. It's almost it's too clean.
Yeah, it's too clean.
Yeah,
I
because
understand
that's
that.
what's special about movies like this from the 70s. You could they were low budget, and they have a special charm to them when they're really gritty.
Shit, even Dirty Harry looked low budget
Yeah.
compared. I mean,
What's it saying?
Dirty Harry was like double the budget of Death Wish.
Well, that's what stands out about a lot of movies in the 70s from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Halloween
well, you gotta
movies.
think most of those budgets though back then was spent on the actors.
Right.
So I mean,
Not the effects, right?
That's a lot of them. Even though they were bigger budget than others, they still look close to the same. Like most movies back then, even when they were low budget, if they were made the same year, big budget and little budget, they look close to the same.
Yeah.
You can't like today's.
The only
day
one
and
that I
age-
could really point out off the top of my head that I thought looked just fucking terrible was Last House on the Left.
Oh yeah,
I thought the graininess and the grittiness of
I
the
thought
camera.
I thought
and stuff
they did that
was-
on purpose though, didn't they?
They might have.
I think they did.
They might.
That
Oh,
seems
did they?
like something they would do.
They
think
might.
they did.
They might have just to make it worse. That's something I guess I never really realized that they might have.
Yeah, I think they did.
They might have.
I read
because it was
something-
pretty trashy.
I read
which it was
something
supposed
about
to
it
be
one
probably.
time.
It made it look like a snuff film.
Yeah.
You know,
I
which
think
is-
that's what they were.
They might have been going for that
and
to get it banned.
I actually
That's
read
Wes
a thing-
Craven too, isn't it? Yeah.
I actually read a thing where they were trying to make people. They were trying to trick people into thinking it was an actual snuff film.
They might
at
have.
first.
They might have.
I don't know if that
Well,
was
they
true
did that
or
with
if that
the
was just something.
what
I
was the
read.
what was the Green Inferno? What was the
Oh,
the
yeah,
can-
yeah, yeah.
What was the original one? The cannibal.
Damn it! What was that?
I can't remember the damn name now.
Not sure what
I'll remember it after.
I don't
the
think
fucking-
they were trying to make people. I don't think they were trying
Well,
to trick
I-
people. I think people just assumed that it was real.
I heard that they'd sent the actors off somewhere later after the fact to sell the movie to get people to
Really?
believe it was real.
Really?
And that's what I heard.
Well,
I don't know.
God, that's kind of shitty of them. Dude.
Yeah, and they resurfaced later and like, no, we're not dead. It was all an act, you know. But because I mean, there's even to this day, there's still tribes down in these places
Oh yeah.
that will
they
kill
will
you
eat
and eat you.
Yeah, they will eat you.
Yeah, they are still cannibal
God,
murderers.
What was that? That one got an X rating, didn't
Oh,
it?
it was terrible. Eli Roth just remade it, and it was the Green Inferno.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of the original.
I can't think of what it
It
is.
was something
it was
cannibalistic.
Bad. It
or
was
something.
bad.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm gonna think of it as soon as we get done. I
Oh
guarantee
God,
it.
that was bad. Yeah, I remember seeing. I've never actually watched the whole movie. I've only watched parts of it,
Yeah,
and it was bad. Ugh, I'm
Deliverance was pretty rough too. So
Deliverance could have been. Deliverance could be in
Yeah.
parts.
it
You know
could
the.
I think that's why House of a Thousand Corpses worked so well, because it had that trashiness feel to it, like that old '70s horror film feel.
Exploitation.
Yeah, it's exploitation, really nasty shit. It just gave you a really weird feeling after watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, these movies aren't that bad, but you get that feel with all of them, especially from the '70s.
Yeah.
But even though I think the trailer looks a little too clean, I'm still pretty excited. I think
I am too. I
think
can't wait to
Bruce
see it.
Willis looked good in the role, and like the one-liners that he did in the film are great.
Yeah.
You know, Bruce Willis is very good at doing comedy without trying too hard.
Yeah, very straight.
He is a very good straight-faced comedian.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he'll pull this off really good.
I think so too. Well, he can be a very dry person.
Oh yeah, and he can be
An asshole-ish.
he can be an asshole. He can be hilarious. He can pull off action. He can pull off the everyday action hero. I mean, he's kind of the modern day Charles Bronson.
Yeah, I mean, if
Really?
somebody, yeah,
Just
kind
puff
of.
his chest out a
Yeah.
little bit.
I mean,
If
if someone dies and he doesn't sell it, then I could believe Bruce Willis wouldn't actually cry
Exactly.
or wouldn't actually sell it.
Exactly.
I really could.
Yep.
Any final thoughts?
I'll go watch it.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
I agree. If anybody hasn't, I just watched it for the first time. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's been. I don't know. They're awesome.
Yep.
They're just great. If you like old films, they're awesome.
Oh yeah, especially if you're
interested
a fan,
in the first one or the new one, you need to watch.
if you're a fan of Dirty Harry or any movie like that from that era, Death Wish is for you if you haven't already seen it.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know a lot of people act like they are fans of Dirty Harry,
No.
but really, you should watch Death Wish. It's fun.
I think Dirty Harry's one of
It's
those.
fun.
I think Dirty Harry's one of those movies that people claim to like that they haven't really seen it.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of slow in places. And
Oh
it's,
yeah. Well, and there's
just a couple scenes that are so famous that they're like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I like them because where this misses out on plot, that actually has.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
They're Dirty Harry and Death Wish are very similar, but they're complete polar opposites of each other.
Right.
You know.
Right. You just got good old fashioned vigilantism in this.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah. One is a cop.
Mm-hmm.
One is not.
Right. Basically.
One is on the East Coast. The other's on the West Coast.
Yep.
You know, they are polar opposites of each other.
Yeah.
One has a good plot. One just his wife got raped and
It's a
murdered,
revenge
and
tale.
so now he's going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. It's there. If you like one, you'll like the other.
Yeah. Andrew, any final thoughts?
No, if you're in the mood for a serious movie, watch 1 and 2. If you're in the mood for a good time, watch
Good
3 and
80s
4.
action. Watch 3.
Yeah.
Watch 3 and 4. Yeah.
And 5 if you just have to.
And the important rule of thumb is if someone asks you if you believe in Jesus, just ignore them.
Yeah,
Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
unless they're your preacher.
Unless they're your preacher. Just ignore them. I think that'll do it for us.
Yep.
So appreciate you all listening to us, and go watch Death Wish 1, 2, and at least 3, at least the first 3, and we will see you all next week.
Bye. Yeah.